Good afternoon. My name is Voronda A. Fields. I am a graduate student at Tiffin University, and this is my proposal for an English, literature, and writing lab on the college campus. Proposal: English, literature, and writing technology lab. As many of you know, many of our students enter the university with deficits in English, writing, and reading. One of the ways that I propose we address this issue is with a technology lab that is geared toward students with deficits. We're also a feeder school for educators. Most of the teachers in this area of North Louisiana come from Grambling, Louisiana Tech, LSU, and LSU at Alexandria. Because we are a feeder school, we produce 90% of all teachers within Caddo Parish, DeSoto Parish, and Bossier Parish. Meeting the needs of our students is our number one goal. A technology lab that is dedicated to a specific discipline, such as English, literature, and writing, would give us an advantage. It would also help our students. I'd like to introduce everyone to the idea of discipline specific computer labs. These are a 21st century invention because as technologies move forward, so has the idea of giving students real world experience on a college campus in a computer lab. Technology has invaded every area of our lives. Therefore, it is important that students have experience with computers and technology prior to moving on to four-year institutions or within the workplace. A discipline specific computer lab would allow the students to interact with each other. It would also allow the university to provide them with software and different technologies that they would encounter in their real life jobs. One of the things I think would make our lab really, really unique is that we're going to hire people from within the English field. We're going to hire English teachers who are going to be in the lab. We're also going to utilize our resources that we have on campus, our own English students. Mentoring is one of the things that I really feel a commitment to in English. If we can get our developmental students paired up with someone who is an English major who plans on going into education in our discipline specific lab, they can interact. Not only does the student benefit from this interaction, our English majors get some real life, hands on teaching experience. What we're going to talk about today is our current situation, a solution, our project plan, and our conclusion. As many of you know, a large number of our students are first generation, they're non traditional students, and we have a significant number of students from across each parish. Louisiana, as many of you know, always ranks in the bottom of education. One of those reasons I've always thought is that our students don't always get the same education in English, writing, or reading. When I was in high school, I read Beowulf. I read Maya Angelou. I was introduced to Langston Hughes. But a friend of mine who was educated right across the river, not 5 minutes away in Bossier, never read any of those books. Why? I don't know. We don't have a standard curriculum. And when I say I don't know, I mean I really don't. I've asked, why is it some students get to read Beowulf? Why is it some students don't? No one ever gives me a concrete answer. One of the things that we as higher education do is we deal with that. When these students come to us, they're going to have deficits. You always want to bring them all together on the same accord. How do you do that? What makes all these students come together under one big umbrella and changes our current situation of having some students who are on one level and some students who aren't? You're not able, as in high school, to weed them out and have general, basic, general, and advanced. What we do is we educate a whole room of students on different levels. One of the things I think that can change our current situation is a lab that is on one accord. And while in the classroom, you're going to introduce them to Beowulf, you can bring those who are not up to speed on Beowulf in the English lab. So our topic says solution, and we've got chairs sitting around the server. So I have to ask you, what do you think the solution to our problem is? While there are many answers, one of the solutions I thought about dates back to my own experience as a college student. I took English under Dr. Tebow. Tebow was from South Louisiana. He was a real nice guy, real laid back. He'd been a hippie in the 60s. I still kind of think he may have been a smoker, but he understood students. He understood that while I was that suburban kid who'd really gotten introduced to Beowulf, to Langston Hughes, to Gwendolyn Brooks, to Nikki Giovanni. There were others in the class who had not. Six of us were suburban kids who had been introduced to everything, while the other six were a mixture of different books. One of the things he did I thought was really great is that he asked us to make a commitment and meet him on the yard on weekends or even in the afternoon if we could do it. And anybody who's ever attended an HBCU knows that the yard on any Black college campus is the place to be. Everybody wants to be on the yard, and SUBR, Southern University Rouge, is called the yard. So we would meet him, and right there on the yard, he would read to us. We do English, we do literature, and we did lots of reading. But we were all together under one umbrella. And I thought about what is our solution to having all these students disproportionately educated in English, literature, and writing across three of our largest North Louisiana parishes. A technology lab that caters to each and every student's needs. Let's open the file and look at our technology proposal. This proposal is for an English literature and writing lab that's going to cater to our students' needs. One of the things I think we should do is light up our students' lives as well as the campus with our new technology lab. Because we work with a diverse group of students who have a very diverse background in English, literature, writing, and reading, it is important that our lab cater to each of these students. And I think that's going to be possible. We will have a very seamless integration of face to face and computers. How do we achieve that? I'm sure you're asking yourself. One of the ways that we achieve this is by hiring staff in our lab that have had careers in both. We're going to staff our lab with English teachers who have PhDs, and we're also going to have staff with masters. Why? Because the better educated our staff is, the better able they're going to be to help our students. Lots of students don't have the advantage of a computer at home or a tablet. We're going to change that. One of the things that students are going to be able to do is come in the lab, check out a laptop, or a tablet. They'll be able to use it within the university and at home. They'll have to bring them back at the end of the semester, but we want our students on top. We want them to have all the advantages that we can give them to succeed. Also, one of the things I think is very important, and when I think about my time on the yard, is that as students, we had areas where we could go and just be ourselves and hang out. That's one of the greatest advantages. One of the things I really like about the lab is that we're going to have an area and little rooms where students can get together and work together. All right, our project plan. I'm sure each of you is wondering, how do we fund this project? This sounds enormous. It may sound enormous, but the return is going to be rewarding. So let's look at how we're going to get started. Phase one starts today. I'm here before you asking you for money. We need money for our lab, and I'm hoping each of you is going to reach in your pockets, dig real down, way, way down, and give us the money. Once we've emptied your pockets, in May, we're going to begin construction. Between July 1st and August 30th, we're going to interview, hire, and train our unique and wonderful staff. Phase three, we're going to buy our computers because technology changes so rapidly. We're going to wait till August when it's almost time for the lab to open so we can get the newest computers and the latest software, the latest upgrades. Phase three, our lab opens in the fall of 2019. I spoke a little bit about cost before. The cost of the lab. In conclusion, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening at my proposal. Voronda. There's if no anybody has a question, please raise your hand. It's going to pay for itself in 5 years. Let me tell you how our lab pays for itself. Let me say, one of the things is student retention. Each and every day that I come to those doors, my mind is on my students. Good about their education, I want to give back to the community that gave so much to me. Is that as someone who attended an HBCU, someone who works at HBCU, I understand the needs of the student because I'm invested in their outcomes. And a lot of non-traditional each and every time I walk in a hospital and the RN is from Southern University. When a student each and every time that I go to school for my kids and their teacher has been educated or she's come through the doors of Southern University, I am proud. I see students who start out at the bottom and rise to the top. That is what we do to ensure that this computer lab can be our greatest investment because it gives
if
us
we are
something
able
to
to
give back.
provide
We
our
not only give our
students
time and
with
our love, we give
a
these
caring
students to the
environment, they're going to
community
stay.
and they
They're
do
not
us
going to
proud.
leave. Another thing that
I want to
I
thank
think
you for your
is
time.
unique to our
You
area
can
is
email
that we
me
can have and we
at
do
fieldsv
enter
at
into
Tiffin
agreements
University.
between our
You
school
can call
and
me at
other schools.
318
One of the things I think that is going to
929
separate us with our English literature and
3709.
writing lab
Or you
is
can just
that
stop
it
by
is
my
going to
office and just
serve
say,
as an
hey, I want to
incubator
talk to
for
you
our
about this
education
proposal. Any
community.
questions,
One of
anything
the
you
things I
need,
think I
call me.
really,
This
really,
has been my
really want to
proposal,
do
and thank you,
I
is to
am
have
Veronda A.
local
Fields
teachers
Tiffin
come in.
University. We can have agreements with LSU, Grambling, LSU, Alexandria, Northwestern. Why? What do these agreements do? These agreements allow other students from other campuses to come to our incubator, our because we're going to be unique. We're going to be the only one in the area with an English writing and literature lab dedicated to English.